drug mart probably caused a little bit of a stir. I just wanted to take 5 minutes of your time just to maybe introduce us, to the community, get some face time with you guys, and maybe give you guys some information about some things that you might not be aware of in the industry. First and foremost, I want you guys to know that we want nothing more than to be lawful. We don't want to park on your residential streets. And had he known that there was an ordinance, he would not have had the truck parked there. He vetted it in every way that he possibly could. He called the sheriff's department. He got permission from Drug Mart. It doesn't matter. The fact remains that you guys have a commercial parking ban. You obviously have an issue. Here's what I want you to understand when you see that truck. I get it that it doesn't belong in a residential area. There's not a decent trucker on the road that wants to take a truck to a residential area. It's scary, and anybody who pays their own insurance wants to stay as far away from residential areas as they can. That truck is a small business owner in your community who pays taxes. It represents somebody who has lived in this community for over 7 years. We have kids that graduated from school here. We're no different from the donut shop down the street. We are a small business in your community. Our business doesn't look like their business, and it is imposing, and we get it. We're not here to ask you to lift your ban. We don't expect the community to shoulder a burden of a parking area. What we want you to understand is that truckers will pay. We will gladly pay. And you're missing a huge opportunity in this community. You have 12,000 trucks a day that go through that corridor right there. The I-70 corridor is one of the busiest corridors in America, in between Columbus and Dayton, Ohio. You have billions of dollars of freight going right by your community, and you're missing a huge opportunity to take a part of it. You have prime property sitting right there on the highway, waiting for somebody to do something with it. And I don't know, I'm sure that there's public outcry about a truck stop, but I don't know if you guys read the Google reviews on Enum Beach down there, but your best review is the meth isn't bad here. So I think a truck stop might improve your image there. You also need to understand that the federal government's coming down hard on us. We're small business people. We're struggling. We're not a fleet. We don't have lawyers, and we don't have big insurance, and we don't have companies behind us going to Washington and lobby. We're hanging on by the skin of our teeth, just like the donut shop is. We need to make money. That's our main objective. But when we come home, we need to be able to rest. The last time he's home, he spent 10 hours of a 12-hour window worrying about whether or not he's got to get up and move his truck. People tape notes to it. It's a custom paint job, people. It's not an ugly truck. And you don't tape notes to a custom paint job with duct tape, and you don't throw eggs at somebody's vehicle that they make a living with because you don't want it in your community. Those aren't solutions. That's not how we handle things, and I don't think that's how Mad River handles things. I'm a writer for the trucking industry. I have a unique opportunity here. I would like very much to write a good story about Mad River. I only write the stories, however. I tell them. You get to make the story up. You get to say how this goes from here on out. I would like to leave this meeting and say we started an open communication with Mad River Township about their commercial parking ban. We talked to them about it. They understand that the federal hours of service are coming down hard. In September, those hours are going to be mandated on electronic logs. It's coming. And the parking problem is going to get 1,000 times worse because they're closing as they mandate these hours. And we're fine with that. We don't want tired truckers on the road. Truckers don't want unsafe people on the road. We live on the road. That's not what we want. We want some options. We want to be able to be lawful. We want to be able to live in a community that, opens their doors to this kind of commerce. There's a huge, vast amount of money in the trucking industry. The truckers don't keep much of it, but everything surrounding it is nothing but money. A community that has a plan, that can go forward and say, hey, you know what, this parking problem is going to get worse. We've got a huge piece of property right here. Let's do something with it. Or let's get our small business people together to say, hey, we'll rent a couple spaces. We're paying $60 a month down here. We don't mind. We don't expect you to take on our parking problems. We do expect you as a community to be forward thinking and to have enough insight to say, we need to do something about this, because the trucks aren't gonna stop coming. IGA's not gonna stop ordering food. Dollar General's not gonna shut their doors. The water company's not gonna shut down. You're gonna have trucks in your community. 6%, according to your city data on the web right now, 6% of the men of working age in your community work in the industry in one way or another. That represents a large number of your constituents. Now, this is a problem, and it's only gonna get worse. We're setting ourselves up for failure whenever we do things like ban parking. Banning something doesn't solve the problem. You clearly have an issue. We agree. We need to find a solution. A ban is not a solution. And we just appreciate any consideration when you're going through your part. I know you mentioned that you might need to review some of those parking constraints. Some of the business owners might be approached, whoever owns the property down there. You guys might talk to these people and tell them that's a huge amount of money that they're turning down if they're not letting a truck stop moving there because they don't like how it looks. Because when your best review is the Met's not bad, I don't think a truck stop is going to be the worst of your worries as far as aesthetics go. We're just trying to make a living. We want you guys to understand that. We're educated people, and we want to have an opportunity. Your meeting doesn't have any truck parking available, so the truckers that know about this meeting couldn't come and voice their opinions. So that's not, things like that are not considered. 12,000 people a day are going by your community, and you're missing out on the dollars. And they drive by, and they're not going to stop. And the trucking industry added 2,800 jobs last month, and it's only going to add more. You either get a piece of it, and you understand how to live with it. And yeah, you don't. Trucks are dirty. I get it. It's a dirty business. I live it. It's not pleasant. We don't do it for fun. We do it to make money. That's what we're doing it for. You guys should, join us. Come to the dark side. Love the truckers.
Are you talking about what property are you talking about?
I believe it's the Jim Miller place down there. And everyone that I've talked to all three of the trustees. We've talked, the law has been nothing but nice. Everybody is very open to communication about it. We haven't had anybody shut us down. I just think people don't really know what to do. And that's where we need to come together. And I'll be glad, any information I can give you guys, anything I can help you out with. I have a vast amount of information available. I've been writing for the industry for 4 years now. I live in that truck half the time. I've got a lot of information for you. So I appreciate your time. I know everybody wants to go home, and I just want you guys to know that we did take care of our problem, but there are a lot of other people who will have the problem.
You represent it very well.
Well, thanks.
And we appreciate you coming, taking time. I did visit with you